Well, Vivek Murthy has said he believes we are suffering from an epidemic in America, an epidemic of loneliness. And he says since the pandemic, we have been way more standoffish and we are lonely. And the line that caught my eye was, and especially young people are way more lonely and isolated these days. And he says being lonely is the equivalent of smoking 15 to 20 cigarettes every day. He's like, it's
a day?
It's that bad. It's like you're a pack-a-day smoker if you are lonely.
It does crush a lot of people.
Loneliness?
Yeah, I mean, look at the number of suicides in this country.
Oh, it's awful.
And a lot of that, sadly, many of those are
just because you're
drug related.
Well, that's true.
You know, I mean, but it's just horrific.
But some people are thrown into it and don't have a choice, and they don't have friends, and their family's gone.
He says that fewer and fewer people are engaged with community organizations, church, even family members are much more. We're just much more isolated than we used to be.
Oh, I'm sure he's right.
Yeah.
I don't know about the cigarette number, but you know, there was a book that came out. Was it 20 years ago, 25 years ago? Bowling Alone. It said nobody has league night anymore. You know, we used to. Americans used to form leagues with your friends or your coworkers, and you go bowling.
Oh, you're right.
You go out on the weeknights.
Yeah,
and then you went to church together.
Mm-hmm. We don't
hang out with your neighbors.
Don't know your neighbors as much. Mm-hmm. It has really changed, and he said that was all happening.
The culture has changed.
He said it was changing anyway, and then COVID even made it worse.
Yeah, because you know you didn't, like you said, you didn't know your neighbors as well. Your work family became your work family,
and then
but a lot of that went away,
and people started working from home, or not fewer people in the office, in the workplace.
Why? Phones,
I blame. COVID, I blame.
Yeah,
COVID. It was already on the way. I think.
Well, he says,
and he says that. He's right.
Social media, man.
Yeah, my kids don't get together as much as they're just on the phone together.
Is it fear? Is there fear involved? Like, well, maybe violence. I mean, look at
maybe
guns.
you don't want to go out as much.
You hear about it every day.
Yeah. Don't want to go out as much. Don't want to go to these places.
Don't want to know who your neighbors are.
Perhaps he says that loneliness increases the risk of premature death by 30%, just as smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
Got nothing to live for.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, just to hear something. When I first saw it, I was like, "Come on!" But you know, he makes a case for it. He is the Surgeon General.
Yeah.
You know what's saving us? Pickleball. Pickleball gets you out there playing.
It does.
It's on the rise. I read articles all the time how pickleball's saving America because it gets people back together.
out. Yeah,
saving America. Settle down, Beavis.
That's not my headline. That's not my headline. I read that.
Was it in the pickleball journals?
It's in pickleball.com. It's on Pickleball Weekly.
We are saving America.
That's self-puffery.
A friend of mine came to me and he said, we were just talking about
saving America.
He said to me, pickleball saved my life. And I said, what do you mean? And he's like, before I would just sit at home, lonely, never did anything. Now I've got groups texting me all the time, and I'm out 4 nights a week.
Look at you, you've made new friends.
Tons of new friends. I mean, it really is.
Look at the people you scraped off, your old tennis buddies.
I mean, they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone. They got shoved aside.
I've made room for
the people who can't play pickleball as well.
Scrape them away.
Scrape them off.
Move up a level, you scrape them away.
It's like prison.
That's right.
Like when you were the new fish, you made early friends.
That's right.
Now you've met some.
Right.
Oh, now I'm with the Aryans. Hey guys, sorry. The Aryans want me.
Just this week, my friend the Diesel and I played on Saturday with a little group. It's kind of a new group for us, and we played at a secret location. And
we'll hear you.
I played.
It's hard to believe this used to be a Shoney's.
Won't be secret for long.
Played at a secret look. I won't give it
up.
You
have your eye on that Bed Bath & Beyond location?
Yeah. Or you could put some in there, couldn't you?
Look how many quarts you could put in there.
That's a great point. We should do that.
You know who they said is ready for Bed Bath & Beyond? Spirit Halloween. They said Spirit Halloween is just Jones.
Our locations have just tripled.
Right. Well, this is really unfortunate. We played with a newer group at a newer place, and then got a text from somebody in my old group saying, sure missed you today. We had 7, and 7's the death number. You can't. 7's bad because you need multiples of 4. I mean, if you have 5, it's one thing. Somebody sits for 15 minutes and you're fine. But 7 is terrible because then 3 people have to sit out, and I felt bad about it.
Yeah.
But it's
How bad?
Well, I didn't respond to the text. I just
not long enough to stick around.
I pretended I didn't see it.
Did they have that thing where they can? What do they call it? What your kids call it? Leave it on red.
Yeah, I left him on red.
Saw it.
Yeah, but didn't respond.
Bubble. Stop.
Chris, I mean, my son's always like, "Oh man, he left you on red." I said, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You're always getting left on red, man." He's looking through my notes, my text. He's like, "Left you on red, left you on red." What? What are you talking about? Okay, speaking of feeling bad about something, let's play Celebrity High Low. Biggie, you'll be you and I can be the judge here.
Okay.
Recently, Hugh Grant was at the Oscars. He was called a twat when it was done because of a red carpet interview he did. We'll flash you back to that. This was Hugh Grant at the Oscars being interviewed, and he gave a curt interview.
What are you most excited to see tonight?
To see?
Yeah, well, I know that you probably watched a few of the movies. Are you excited to see anybody win? Do you have your hopes up for anyone?
No one in particular.
Okay, well, what are you wearing tonight then?
Just my suit.
Your suit? Who made your suit? You didn't make it.
I can't remember. My tailor.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to the tailor.
Yeah.
So tell me, what does it feel like to be in Glass Onion? It was such an amazing film. I really loved it. I love a thriller. How fun is it to shoot something like that?
Well, I'm barely in it. I'm in it for about 3 seconds.
Yeah, but still, you showed up and you had fun, right?
Almost.
Okay, all right.
All right. Move right along. Awkward.
Hugh.
Awkward.
Who's that on, Hugh or the interviewer?
I think it's on Hugh.
I think it's on
I do,
Hugh.
because I mean, at that red carpet event, you're just getting kind of softball questions and for fun.
He didn't
play
get
the
shoved
game.
in there,
I
did
think
he?
so. He didn't play the game.
I mean, are you supposed? Do you have to?
I don't think you have to. At the
Do you have
time,
to stop at
no.
each microphone
well,
stand?
people said at that time, then just move on.
Yeah.
I don't think everybody.
There were
gets it.
some that said that's just Hugh being Hugh, but I mean, he's been in the game forever.
Someone said they had known him forever, and they said that's the real Hugh.
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, she said that's him. He's
Yeah.
a twat, and we love him. We love him because he's a twat. Now we have another celebrity who was at that Met Gala the other night, and he has issued an apology because he was being interviewed by a TikTok reporter named Rye Myers on the red carpet at an event. And people are saying he was as big a twat or bigger than Hugh Grant. And I really think he's more rude, honestly. Biggie's heard it here.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think? All right, you guys don't know who it is, right?
And this person did something over the line, too.
You think
Over
so?
the line?
Really over the line. All right, we'll get it. All right, let's play Celebrity High-Low. Who do you think the rude celebrity is on the red carpet? Dave, you go first. But, I'll say higher or lower. So you say Hugh Grant, we'll say higher or lower.
Hugh Grant.
Or whoever you want.
You can start anywhere.
Start anywhere you want.
I'm trying to think of a movie star. What about the guy that played Batman?
Lower.
Whichever.
Affleck?
Keaton.
Either any
Pattinson?
Batman.
Lower. Way lower.
Carrot Top.
Not necessarily a movie star. Carrot Top.
Why would he be there?
Push.
A push with Carrot Top.
I think push.
Oh, yeah, I'm
okay. I think
gonna
push.
real close.
Very, very close. He might be
Both had their time.
Andy Dick.
Both.
Ooh.
Push. I think push.
You think push?
I do. This guy was a celebrity in the 80s and 70s.
Celebrity in the 70s
He was
and
a
80s.
He was a 70s and 80s television celebrity. Let's say that.
I'd put him a little higher. In my book, a little
Higher
higher
than Andy Dick. He has a better resume than Andy Dick.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Mario Lopez.
Lower.
Lower.
No, he's got a pretty high profile.
Yeah. 70s, 80s TV.
70s, 80s television star.
He was on 2 different shows, one of which is considered a real classic. The other, he was a star of. It's not in the same regard, but he was the star of the show, for sure. The first one was an ensemble piece, and it was really good. Yeah, a lot of hints going here now.
Yeah.
70s, 80s.
He was on Hill Street Blues. It's still alive.
All right. Lower.
Sipowicz.
No one from Hill Street Blues?
No, no. Lower. I don't know. Sipowicz, he might be the same.
Benny Thomas.
No, it's Tony Danza. Okay.
Danza.
Tony Danza.
From Taxi and Who's the Boss?
And Who's the Boss? So Taxi's the great ensemble piece in the 70s and early 80s. And then Who's the Boss is his show.
That was
I was thinking younger.
No, it's Tony Danza. He's on the red carpet. Now Biggie can tell us what's over the line here. After we play the interview, the interviewer is TikTok reporter Rye Myers, and he's talking with Tony Danza and his wife as they walk up.
How are you? Good to see you again. Good. Hi, Tony. How are you? I'm Rye. How you doing? How are you folks doing tonight?
Well, excited.
It's so great, right, to be here at New York, New York?
Absolutely.
Right.
Just saw John
Relax
Sanders.
a little. You're more excited than we were. Take it easy.
It's exciting. It's a great
I
night.
know. Okay.
Now, what's your favorite New York City staple food item? Is it a pizza or hot dog?
You know what? You got to do money. You got to come up with better questions. Come on, let's go. I got to go.
Thank you, Tony.
You're calling Tony Danza a twat in the same league as you, Grant. Get a better question. Goodbye. I'm out of here. Okay. Biggie, how did he go over the line there?
He also reached up and patted him on the face.
Oh.
And people were like, "Oh, hell no!"
You don't put your hands on.
Yeah.
You don't put your hands on somebody,
especially now.
Oh, okay.
You don't put it, but he gave him like a, "Yeah, come on, give me a better
question.
Yeah. And he like pat on the face.
Go get your shine box.
And it's so it was like, it was one thing to be a douche, but then to touch him, it's like, oh hell no!
Hands on face, over the line.
That is over the line.
Okay,
but it is. I mean, it's not the red carpet at the Oscars, and this is just a TikToker. Just a dude with a cell phone.
Yeah, fact. But should you, if you're stopping for an interview, should you be at least polite to whoever?
Yes.
I mean, you
Yes,
stopped.
you should.
You stopped. He has apologized personally, or Tony Danza has, and this is the reporter Rye Myers who says to all of my followers, Tony Danza has reached out.
Hey friends, Rye Myers here, your Broadway and Entertainment BFF. And I just wanted to let you know that I did hear from Tony Danza earlier today. He called me to apologize and squash the beef. It was great to hear from him and certainly much appreciated. Thank you for all your support in these last 24 hours. It's been insane.
What a difficult time.
Beef squashed.
Yes. And Tony Danza lives on. I think he was actually more rude than Hugh Grant by saying, like, get a better question and moving on. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, he did apologize. I don't think Hugh Grant ever apologized. Drew Barrymore just said,
Not that I ever heard.
That's the Hugh we know and love. They're both twats, apparently. So that's
and
just how it
goes. Danza almost reminded me of Robert Smith of The Cure at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction.
I thought about him
It's
too.
exciting. Maybe I'm not as excited as you.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, his wife was playing along.
Yeah.
She was playing the game.
Yeah, she was.
When
Yeah.
you see the video, you know what it really is. Tony Danza reminds me of every old man who's trying to get his wife into something they're late for.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, he's like, come on! I want a picture in front of the marquee! We got tickets! Let's go! So that's what it is. His wife is having...
They're running late.
When you're married to Tony Danza, you don't get to flash that all the time. You know,
Yeah, right.
You don't get
Okay,
these
right.
events anymore where you're on these red
Danzas are
carpets.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not 30 years ago anymore.
So they're on
Right.
Broadway. There's people out who are yelling Tony Danza. So she's loving it, and he's like, the seats.
Right, we got to get in there.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. This is the Robert Smith interview that Chris Dimm's referring to, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the interviewer was thrilled to see it.
Congratulations, the Cure Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sounds of it, no.
All right, same with Tony Danza.
But he did stay, I think. And I think that was maybe the only stop on the way in.
Okay.
To the Rock Hall.
That makes sense. Okay. So another awkward interview.
A little bit.
One, Tony Danza has the problem with.
How old is he?
70?
Oh, he's
I
older
would
than
think.
that.
Older
He's
than
looking,
70?
yeah, he looked
Older than 70? He had a little TV talk show for a while, but mostly he's known for Who's the Boss and then Taxi before that.
Yeah.
There's I saw that last night. I saw that interview on Entertainment Tonight, and at the same time, I don't know why it's popped into my head. The other story they did last night. Excuse me, Inside Edition. It was on Inside Edition, and it has to do with hotels and the way a woman was claiming that a guy had gotten into her hotel room and assaulted her simply by going up to the front desk and saying, "I lost my key to room 210," and they just give it to him. They don't check ID, and they gave it to him. So Inside Edition did a test. They had a reporter check into 2 different hotels, and later that day, a guy who worked with Inside Edition went up and said, "Hey, I'm in room 314. I forgot my key, or I've lost my key." And they just hand you a new one. And they don't check ID or make sure or anything. And the reporter is standing there with the camera, and he walks right into the room without being attached or anything. And do you know what they're selling now, and they're saying you should use it, is an electronic wedge that you shove into the bottom of the hotel room door. So if someone tries to get in without your knowledge, it like sounds an alarm, and they can't open the door. It's
what
a
about
wedge.
that's terrifying.
Isn't that
that
crazy?
it exists.
Yeah.
Do they? I know many hotels have that extra sort of locking mechanism.
Always
do
use
those
it.
work?
They say always use it. Yes. And one woman, it was caught on camera. She had used that, that thing where you can open the door like
It's kind of like a bolt.
yes, it open it like
Or a
4
wedge.
inches.
It there's 2 different types.
This one, the door could be open 3 or 4 inches, but that's it.
That's it.
So somebody tried to get in with a key they had gotten without the person's knowledge inside. She ran to the door and slammed it and severed the guy's finger.
Yeah.
Those big doors.
Oh, those doors are heavy.
And they showed
do some
video.
damage.
Yeah.
They had video of it, and you could see, and they had pixelated.
Did they catch the guy?
Yeah, they got him because he was bleeding in the hallway.
Yeah.
And they had pixelated out where his finger had been literally severed and landed inside her hotel room.
That's too bad for her.
It made me hurt. But it was a lot of these hotels, the desk staff were apologizing, saying, "Oh yeah, sorry, I was in a hurry. I didn't check it." One poor woman, she was assaulted. They never caught the guy.
Yeah.
I've never had to replace a key card before. I don't think so. I don't know that it's ever happened.
Oh really?
I bet people lose them all the time.
Yeah.
I know they do.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, be polite, unassuming. Mm-hmm. It's the old act like, hey, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm in a room, but I totally just locked out. I am so sorry.
It was crazy. But the new technology is, and they say women especially should just carry it in your purse if you're going to check into a hotel. It's a wedge like you'd have to keep an office door open, which we have, and you just shove it under the inside of the hotel room door. And not only can they not get in, but the sophisticated ones actually sound an alarm when somebody presses on it.
Can you fly with that? That's more weight to travel with.
That's a good point. Well, yeah.
It's also a fire hazard. I think a fire chief would tell you, if that fire drill goes off in the middle of the night or
You gotta
fire
get out.
alarm,
You got to remember to kick it out of the way. Of course, all you do is kick it out of the way, but still.
If you remember.
Yeah. But same.
Flames are lapping at your feet.
That's a good point.
Yeah, people panic.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that. That's a good point. The other technology
Sorry, women.
It's awful.
It is awful.
It's awful.
Terrible.
Men are pigs.
The other technology that has come out for moms are kids' shoes with squeakers inside, so that if your kid leaves you, you know it. If you're in a crowded place,
This is a white people thing.
I know that's what Kelly has. You wear them now.
Yeah,
not
we know
my,
when you're, we
not
know when
my
you're
choice.
coming.
You know that I have. I have inserts, and I'm very, very.
This is the whitest thing since leashes.
I am very.
Have your fallen arches?
I am very protective of that, and I'm sensitive about the fall. I have bad arches.
Yeah,
and I've had inserts for some time. And when I switched over to Hoka shoes,
That's the sound they make.
I started squeaking down the hall. I really should have invented this for toddlers. So when parents are out at the sporting event or mall or wherever they are, you'll hear this as your toddler's walking. This is the sound that the shoes make. That's the toddler. There's the shoes. She's running now. So when that sound goes away, your toddler, you got to hear them.
We all hear it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell no.
That's the shoe. That's it. Yeah, we all hear it.
But if you're at a baseball game,
you're not going to hear that.
You might not.
Or a theme park,
airport,
or outdoor park.
Yeah.
What about everybody around you that has to listen to this?
That's like a dog chew toy.
It is.
That's a bunch of bull.
It is.
Put a tag on them. Put one of those air tags.
Air
on your kid.
tags. So
put it around their neck.
Get it all the time. Yeah, but then an assailant could take that off very easily and leave it in a trash can.
Well, they could take these shoes off.
Sew it in the other. Sew it in the underpants.
You're right. They could take the shoes off too. You're right. Well, a lot of whites are very interested.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe in a museum. If the kid gets away in a museum, they're quieter places.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you have to listen to those all the time. Hell no.
Dave and I have lost our children for a few minutes at a time.
That's different.
If they had
that was before squeaky shoes.
My daughter used to have those light up shoes, and at night I could see her. I mean, I used to. I would be coaching baseball, third baseline, and I would see those light up shoes up there, like she'd be playing. I was like, well, I know where she is at all times because she had them on, and you could see them. So that was nice. It was not as intrusive as those squeaky shoes. So really, I mean,
no,
you're right about that. They're annoying.
And then what if 10 other kids have them on?
Yeah, a lot of squeaking.
Yeah, if ever all the kids have them on.
And then me with my Hokas.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
Blogger Jen's got some children, a bunch of them. Let's see what she has to say about that. Blogger Jen, your thoughts on these squeaky shoes?
Yeah, I have a lot of too many children, but
right.
That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just stupid. Now, Biggie had said that's a white people thing, and that's probably true.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's right up there with leashes.
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit, I have considered leashes.
You have to keep up with. It used to be the big debate was, are you treating your child like a dog? But a lot of people do that. They'll put a leash on their kid to make sure they don't wander too far away in a crowded environment like that. And how are the twins? How are the babies?
They're very good. They're starting to walk. But I have to say, if their shoes squeaked every time they walked, I'd probably jump off a bridge.
Exactly. That's what Dave's saying. And Dave says some consideration
Walker
for the
Jen
rest.
sounds a little frazzled.
She got a lot of kids.
Walker Jen needs a drink.
She got a lot. That's right.
Sounds like this is going to be an interesting blog today.
Yeah, summer's going to be real fun.